Okay, guys, I'm back. Okay, guys, I'm back again. So, again, like and subscribe to this channel. I'm not a financial advisor, nor that this is financial advice. Now that we got through the boring part, um, this is kind of a continuation to the crypto video slash how I'm diverging that into the stock market plays for our meme stock plays. In this case. Um, so again, we ended the note on how the Fed will, uh, like their decision on whatever that closed door meeting will be about. I mean, as far as I know, it could be about the costs of war with in the Ukraine. I mean, and what could it cost, and what would what would they need to fork out to, you know, give more, get more, I guess, whether soldiers or whether more air carriers or whatever go down there, or whatever the case may be. It could be just about that also. Don't necessarily just have to be about rate hikes for the inflation, but most likely it is about that. So we ended the last video on the fact that if they do raise it, even if they raise it 0.25%, like a quarter of a percent, that is going to force these institutions out there to fork out a lot of money. I mean, the reason why the feds need to raise the hikes, by the way, guys, just so I can always be clear, and in case you don't know why, then I want everybody to be on board. Is because inflation, the only way you can try to slow it down, because it's growing rapidly. Like I've mentioned before, I have a small business. I have a restaurant, and I've seen the costs throughout the whole, like, since the end of 2020, um, and ever since we reopened the market after the pandemic. I've seen the costs like drastically just keep rising and rising and rising, and it's because, like, everybody, like, one person does it because the pandemic affected them, then the person that they deal with have to raise their prices as well, because it's kind of like, think of it like this: the producer makes uh, goods, then the goods now have been on halt, and the amount of goods that go out are less because of the pandemic, and no one have addressed that. So therefore, now the person that receives the producers, whatever it might be, whether it's chips for car chips, or whether it's food, whether it's like, med kits, whatever the hell it may be, since the producer has gotten used to making a certain amount to keep his operation, because you base your operation based on what your income is, and you kind of raise it up. The more income you get, the more advancements you add, and the more you upgrade here, you upgrade there, and upgrade there. But here's the thing: that all relies on the income. When there's no more income, then all that picture collapses. So what the producer did, naturally for him, he goes like, okay, so I'm shipping out less, but getting I gotta get the same amount. Like, I gotta get the same income. So what do I do? It's simple: raise the price. So they raise the price like crazy, and they shipping out like whatever they used to for that same price. Like, for instance, if they used to ship out, let's just use simple numbers here, for $10,000 every day, they ship out X amount, like 200 pounds of something for 10,000, and they get that's they know that that brings them $10,000. Well, now they're shipping out like 2,500 pounds. Like, they they will ship out, like, I don't know, what did I use, how many pounds did I use? Like, okay, they ship out 10,000 pounds every day, and now they ship only, because of the pandemic, a quarter of that amount. But they still want to get their $10,000 every day. So they're shipping out a quarter of the production for the same income value, which again, now the receiver gets much less, like a quarter of what they used to get for the same amount that you pay that money for. And then when they still can't say, no, I don't want it, because things, restaurants have to open, computer stores have to open, fuel have to be in gas stations. So now what the receiver gets, the wholesaler receives, is a quarter of the amount. Now he wants to also not lose, and he wants to make his same money. So he goes to the bottom of the barrel, which is us, or the stores, the businesses, the companies, and say, okay, because he will do the same thing the producer did. I have only a quarter of what you want, like of the gas, the tanks that you need, or the gallons, the amount of gallons that you get every week from me. But I'm gonna have to charge you the same price I charge you. So like now the gas station is like, so how does that make sense? And that's how you see the prices go up, because he will still, he's not gonna shut down his business, so he will take it, but he will raise it on you and me. And that's just because they're forced. No one is like trying to make an extra dollar here, or when it goes all the way down to that point, at the final stage, no one is trying to make an extra dollar. They're just trying to ensure that they don't lose, and they make money. I know it because in my restaurant, same thing. Like we stopped carrying some items. Like I took some items off the menu, like even like similar to chicken tenders. We took that off the menu because the chicken tenders cost us more than what we're selling them for. Like if I have to tell someone that I'm selling you chicken tenders for 8.99 for 3 pieces of chicken tenders, then they're gonna be like, "Oh no, you're trying to get rich overnight." Like it's not me, bro. It's not me, dude. It costs me more, so I can't sell it to you. I can't lose. Where am I gonna get the money from? So you see what I'm saying? How that whole inflation thing works, and that's why the feds need to bring the rate hikes. But when they do bring the rate hikes, it's gonna cause another chaos. I'll come with a third video and I'll tell you what that chaos is gonna look like.